come down on you when it comes to pronunciation, all right? Because obviously we want you to pronounce certain things correctly. The first one we've already kind of done. In Spanish, what sound does a double L make? Yeah, yeah. Clase, please repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you said me llamo Feliz and not me llamo Feliz. Okay? If you say me llamo, it literally means I lick myself. Okay? Me llamo. All right? So it's me. I know. See, you don't want to make those mistakes. All right? So me llamo. Okay? So two L's sound like a y. Okay? Does anyone know, those of you that have taken Spanish before, what sound does a Spanish H make? That's what it's called. But what sound does it make? Ah, muy bien, it's silent. If you see here, and I should put a Y there, and I should have brought red chalk. All right, that's the negative sign. All right. If you see an H in Spanish, don't pronounce it. It is completely silent. All right. That is why. What is H-O-L-A? What is that word? Hola. It's not hola. Okay. I know, right? Sounds ridiculous. It's just hola. Okay. You don't pronounce the H. Okay. Now, sometimes, and I'm a linguistics nerd, I'm a word nerd, lo siento. Sorry, not sorry, okay? Lo siento, no lo siento. But the reason, some students sometimes ask, so then why does Spanish still have that stupid H? It's a holdover from Latin, all right? It just hasn't changed in 2,000 years, all right? Give us another 1,000 years and maybe we'll get rid of the H, all right? Probably not though, all right? So it's a holdover from Latin, okay? So you don't pronounce it. Now, someone mentioned a J. What sound does a Spanish J make? Huh. Yes, it sounds like an English H. Okay? So like J-O-S-E, that name is what? Jose. It's not Jose, Josie, Joe, I guess you can call him Joe. But it's Jose. Okay? So open mouth, push your breath out. Okay? Jose. All right, and I should have cued the clip, but there's like a thing with Family Feud, and everybody always sends it to me like on Instagram. They think it's hilarious, which it is. But you know, I've gotten it like 10,000 times already, where Steve Harvey asks if the category is names that start with H, and so people are like Harry and Henry and whatever, and one of the guys is like Jose, and it's like Jose with an H. Let's see if it's up there, and it's not. All right, because it's with a J, but all J's sound like an H. All right, now a couple other sounds. All right, now this one's a little weird. The letter G. Okay, if the letter G is before an E or an I. Okay, clase, please repeat. From the back of your throat. Almost Germanic, all right? Kind of, it's what we call in the language world guttural, all right? It comes from the back of your throat. If you can't do that, you can make it sound like an H, okay? Now, the reason why is because 20 different countries, actually 21, 21 different countries, not counting the US, use Spanish as an official language. With that many countries, all right, there's going to be a variety of accents, all right? And while the most common pronunciation is, all right, sometimes people go, all right? Now, my first name is Roman, all right? En español, Roman, all right? It's kind of a cool name. I like it, all right? But my poor brother, all right, he got like a weird Spanish name because nobody ever pronounces it correctly. Okay, all his life he's been Gerardo, and it's the Spanish form of Gerard or Gerald. Okay, what would it be in Espanol though? Gerardo, Gerardo. All right, so that Gerardo. All right. Now, like I said, some people pronounce it, and it's really hard for me because I'm like, it's like me trying to fake, you know, like an Irish accent. Gerardo with an H, okay? And that's fine, all right? Now, before an A, an O, or a U, that's the regular g sound that you're used to in English, okay? So it basically has to do with what letter follows the letter G, all right? Next is the letter C, although I really shouldn't have to go through this because it is the exact same pronunciation as in English, all right? And so some of you are probably like, wait, how do we pronounce it in English? A C before an E or an I is what we call a soft C. What do we mean by a soft C? Sounds like an S, okay? Like certain, C-E-R-T-A-I-N, certain, all right? Whereas a C before an A-O-U is what we call a hard C. What do we mean by a hard C? K, all right? So for example, the name Carlos, all right? It's not Sarlos, all right? Carlos. It is the exact same thing in Espanol, all right? So if you can try to remember that, all right? Because sometimes students will confuse it, all right? The last one I want to go through today, and it's the funnest one, okay? The letter R, all right? Now, some of the other pronunciations. If you say hola, Senor Santos will probably take some points off, okay? If you say me llamo, I will probably take some points off, okay? With the letter R though, this one's a little bit harder because you can either do it or you can't. And it's not something that, for the most part, can be taught. Especially not since you guys are like all grown-ups now. I mean, I'd have to get you as babies, you know, to be able to get you to reproduce the sound, okay? But there's actually two sounds that the letter R makes, okay? If it is a singular R in the middle of a word, okay? Clase, please repeat, pero. Pero. Okay, that's actually pretty good, all right? If you have a hard time with that, just try this little tongue exercise. Say the word butter. Butter. Humor me, butter. 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 The same motion that your tongue is making with the word butter, the double T, where your tongue goes up, touches the top, sits back down, that is the same motion that you should be doing with this singular R, all right? So like pero, butter, pero, butter, pero, butter. So if you can say butter, you can say pero correctly, okay? Now, the R pronunciation that most people think about. Double R in the middle of a word, okay? Classette, please repeat if you can, and even if you can't, all right? That's pretty good. All right, she is like, I'm not even trying that. Oh, he's like, oh, hell no. All right, clase, one more time. Basically, you make the front of your tongue flap up and down really fast, okay? The technical term is a trill, all right? That's the sound you're making. Okay, so, clase, perro. Please repeat, perro. Perro. That's not bad, actually. All right, so perro. You guys are doing better than my last class, okay? Yeah, now why, it's kind of important to at least try, because this is the conjunction but. Like, oh my gosh, I really want to talk to you, but I'm in a hurry and I have to go home, okay? Quiero hablar contigo, pero tengo que irme a la casa, okay? Does anyone know what perro means? Dog. Yeah, all right. So you know, it kind of matters, all right, when it comes to that, all right. The other one we have that's kind of weird like this is the word caro, C-A-R-O, which means expensive, and then does anyone know what carro means? Car, yeah. All right. So yeah, you can say, "Oh my God, Felice, she just bought a carro caro, expensive car." All right. So yeah, carro caro. All right. No, carro caro. See, even I. All right. And there's often tongue twist. You know, rápido rueda una rueda del carro cargado de azúcar del ferrocarril. All right. That's like she sells by the she. See, I can't even do it in English. All right. So you can do tongue twisters. But anyways, okay. If you can't, that's fine. If you say pero, all right, I'm not going to take points off. If you say caro, all right, you know, because I know, once again, that it is difficult to master the sound. And I mean, you guys aren't old. You're like 18, 19, 20, whatever. But if you didn't start it when you were like, you know, a baby, an infant, a toddler, then it's a lot harder. Okay, so as long as you do your best with that, okay. But if you say me llamo Feliz, sorry Feliz, this is the only name I remember. All right, me llamo, then yeah, I'm like Feliz. Oh, that's minus 20. All right, so yeah, okay, because that's a Y sound. Oh, all right. Last thing, I promise. We do have a letter Y in Espanol. Okay. When the letter Y is all by itself, though, does anyone know what it means?
E.
Well, that's how it's said.
Right.
And, yes. So it is pronounced E, so like two E's, like meat, feet, beat, okay? But it means and. Okay? So I can say, it is Dale, right? Yes. Dale y feliz, okay? Dale and feliz, okay? So yeah, that is the word and it is pronounced E, not ye, okay? So the pronunciation changes slightly on that one, okay? Any preguntas on pronunciation? All right, well, vamos a seguir practicando. We're going to continue practicing, obviously. Por favor, if you don't have your libros,